Okay, so we are live on all platforms right now. We are waiting for the verdict, ladies and gentlemen. We are waiting for the verdict. As soon as I get the text message, my reporter will be in come out to court, and when I have the verdict, you guys will have the verdict. So I'm on every platform here. I think I'm gonna shift a little over here, guys. I'm gonna shift. I got cameras over here. We're gonna shift this around. Should I cut this off and come back? No, I'm not gonna cut this off. We're gonna shift this around a little bit. Let's go. Stand by. Okay. Make sure you can hear me. You can see me. Uh-oh. We don't want to drop this. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, hold. Stand by. Stand by. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm not cutting this off. Okay, I got you. I got you guys positioned. I got you guys positioned. So I'm kind of right here. Okay. Oh no. Okay. All right. Guys, stay right there. She didn't. I don't have the verdict yet. Should have it. People should be in the court right now. Stand by. Okay. Okay. All right, guys, don't go anywhere. Do not go anywhere. Do not go anywhere. Hey, everybody over here on YouTube. How's everyone doing? Are you guys nervous here on YouTube? Are you nervous? Are you nervous on YouTube? I know you guys are nervous on Instagram. All right, guys, on YouTube, put a one there. Put a one there. We are waiting for the verdict. We should have the verdict in a few minutes. They're back in the court. Now, what could have happened is the judge could have told everyone they could not leave the courtroom until the jurors leave the courtroom. And that may be the case in Los Angeles County courtroom. They may have told them, ladies and gentlemen, you cannot walk out the courtroom till the jurors leave. Wow. So, guys, I'm literally sitting here watching my alert because as soon as she walks out the courtroom, we'll know. And I'm going to send her the link right now. And we're going to bring her on live. So she walks out. Okay, let me send her a link. Shout out to Pam Campbell, attorney Pam Campbell. She is my special reporter inside the courtroom right now. She will be going live with me. Once she walks out, I will have the verdict before she goes downstairs to go live. But once she comes out the courtroom, ladies and gentlemen, we will have the live. Pam. Pam. What? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Tory Lanez has been found guilty on all charges. Guilty on all charges. Tory Lanez has been found guilty on all charges. The family, Pam, I'm sending you a link now. Come down, go downstairs. I'm sending you the link right now. Just go downstairs. Go downstairs. Well, wow. Tory Lanez, ladies and gentlemen, has been found guilty on all charges. Guilty on all charges. So, what is the mood in the courtroom right now?
she also said the same thing. The system is wicked. They yelled in the courtroom. They got put out of the courtroom. And sentencing is September 27, 2023.
The sentence is when?
January 27th,
January 27th, 2023
2023.
is the 2023. Okay, so immediately at where's the jurors at? Did the jurors file out already?
Yeah, the jurors are out.
Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Tory Lanez rapper. Get in the elevator. Come downstairs. I'm sending you the. Okay, I'm sending you the link right now. They put the handcuffs on them. Do you, ladies and gentlemen, do you hear the screaming? It's pandemonium in the hallway. The depths are. Oh my God. Kids are crying. Chaos in the hallway. Pam, go downstairs as soon as you can. Okay, ladies, they're not letting my reporter go downstairs. The fam. Oh wow. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, guilty on all three charges. Tory Lanez is facing a total of 22 years in state prison. No, click. No, click on your link right now. I'm on all platforms now, but I'm seeing the. Okay, no problem. I'm sending you the link right now. I am sending you the link, ladies and gentlemen. We are going live on YouTube with Pam Campbell, attorney. She's inside the courtroom. She says there's pandemonium in the courtroom. The father's. 20 depths are on the floor, the security floor, on the what floor? We in the 15th floor? 15th floor, 20 depths. Tory Lanez has been remanded into custody. Let's see if we can get a response for the jurors. Let's see if you get one of the jurors. Okay, so we can't. Okay, she's on the elevator. I'm seeing the link. Click on the link when you get downstairs. Stand by. Smartwatch, ladies and gentlemen, the smartwatch. I told you, ladies and gentlemen, I would have the verdict to you first and foremost. An outburst occurred in the courtroom. Pam Campbell broke the news. Tory Lanez has been found guilty on all charges. The father, she's going to tell you, I'm not there, but you heard it. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear what she's saying. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear what she's saying. We're bringing her on live on YouTube right now. Wow. So before we talk about all the people that said I was biased, I wasn't biased. I looked at the evidence. I saw what was happening. I saw the testimony. I heard Megan testify. I heard Kelsey testify, but I heard that September interview that Kelsey did. I think between that and the testimony of the last witness, Sean Kelly, this kind of sealed the deal. Let me send a link. I got to bring her up. Stand by. Let me give her a link right now. All right, guys. Don't go anywhere. Please do not go anywhere. She has the link. We're going to bring her up as soon as she gets downstairs. Attorney Aikisha El-Shabazz, I know you're here as well. I'm sending you the link as well. Guilty on all counts. In a few minutes, I will have our special correspondent, Aikisha, excuse me, Pam Campbell, and I hope to be joined by attorney Aikisha El Shabazz. Okay, guys, stand by. I'm looking crazy on YouTube. Stand by. I got to fix the YouTube link. Stand by. Everyone, I'm not going anywhere. I'm just adjusting the camera. Stand by. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I did not know I was going to get the call on my watch. I was looking at every other device but my watch. I did not know that she was going to call me on my watch. I didn't know this. The smartwatch works. Okay, here we go, ladies. Here we go. We're on YouTube. Here we go. We got Pam. I'm gonna bring up right now. I'm gonna turn the sound up. Please be quiet and listen. I can hear.
And Desiree Perez, you wicked witch, you snitch.
Yes.
You turned on your co-conspirators, all the whole mafia, one of you. That
is Tory Lane's father speaking.
Keep the camera on. Keep the camera on him. Keep the camera on him. Keep the camera on him. Keep the
all of you. Trust me. I have intercessors, prayer warriors around the world.
Not
turn your camera around. Turn your phone around. Turn it around.
No.
Did you want me to
Turn
turn
your
it
phone
around?
around. Just turn it physically around.
Exactly how to bring you down in the spirit.
That's
They
right.
have children. No, sir. It's all done.
That's right. I like that.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Tory Lane's father. Tory Lanez has been found guilty of all charges. He was immediately remanded into custody. And his father, as I said earlier, and his mother and family had outbursts where they got taken out of the courtroom by the deputies, and they were in the hallways as well.
Pam, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Who was the father talking to just now? Who was the father talking to?
He was talking of the same things that he said in the courtroom. He said this is a wicked system. He said that Kathy Ty is evil, who is the DA. He said he had a conversation for Jay-Z and Rock Nation and said they were behind all of this. But he said they're going to win this with warfare. They're going to win this with prayer in the spiritual realm.
Okay, so what is the mood of everyone that was upstairs? Like, it's a general. What is the general mood of everyone upstairs? I see a lot of people outside.
Everyone was shocked. Everyone was shocked at the verdict. I think some people thought he would go down on one charge, but people weren't expecting it to be every single charge. People were crying in the audience.
Guys, well, Pam, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you.
First and foremost, I want to thank you very much for being on top of the A gang, for covering this. We have people watching all over the world, and I knew there was going to be a conviction. I just didn't know that it was going to be to this magnitude, because the
I personally thought it would be 2 out of the 3. I didn't see the willful, but when they came back about the willful instruction, then I started thinking willful was going to be an issue.
Well, clearly it's an issue. Tell me about the security scene inside the courtroom.
Inside the courtroom, well, before it started, I got word from the outside because I had someone on the outside watching. They said it was 20 to 30 deputies that had pulled up in the entrance. We had people that had signs, so I knew that they elicited more deputies to be in the courtroom when this verdict was read. They went up into the courtroom. It was about 15 standing in there, and they had about 10 on the outside. And so they kept us away from the elevators. They kept us from leaving out. I was trying to leave out as soon as the verdict was read, but they wouldn't let us do that. And then immediately, Tory's father had the outburst. The kids started screaming and crying. His mom got up and was going off. I mean, it was very chaotic. Hey, Ike.
What's up?
Ike, your thoughts. You and I spoke about this case.
Let me turn this off. I gotta turn off my iPad.
Ike, turn everything off. Okay, so Ike, you heard the verdict.
I heard the verdict. I was tweeting the verdict as you were saying it. I was tweeting it too. you know.
All hands on deck. Ike, you're a criminal defense attorney. You send me the jury instructions. We talked about this. What do you think about this verdict?
I think that it's the fault of the defense. That's what I freaking think.
You said what? Say that again, Ike. I can't hear you.
I think it's the defense's fault.
Oh, yeah, I agree. I would have did this case totally different.
It's their fault.
They're totally different.
Byron, they would not have gotten this
my ride. So let me click on as soon as I get in the car.
No, stay in the car. Just keep. Don't go off. You know, we want this. Don't get in the car with the phone on.
Okay.
Don't go nowhere.
Here's the other thing, Dennis. You know, and I tweeted this earlier. It is a defense attorney's responsibility to prepare the client and the family for the potentiality that the verdict could be guilty, and to tell them they are not supposed to respond and react. This could happen, and if this happens, he's going to go in today. It's a hard conversation, but you have to have it with your client. You have to have it with their family, and he didn't fucking have it. He didn't make them know that that this was real, especially when he got those notes. When he got those notes, man.
Yeah, and if I could add, even when the outburst happened in the courtroom, Tory was somber. He was telling them to bring it down, telling his family it's gonna be okay, just bring it down. I think he does have some appellate issues, but I don't know if they're to that magnitude.
Well, you know, ineffective assistance of counsel is not ill-effective assistance.
That's true. That's true.
He doesn't have an ineffective assistance of counsel.
Ineffective assistance of counsel is not ill-effective.
Ill-effective, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you can't really challenge how the person's strategy, the attorney's strategy is very. The courts really say, well, that was their strategy. So you can't. How can I say their strategy wasn't a good strategy? Mm-hmm. We can say that we would have did it differently. I know Ike probably feels the same way. I'd have did this whole.
Absolutely, completely.
And to your point, both counselors, let's go to some of the mistakes that we all seen that happened. And the biggest one to stand out for me was having Sean Kelly testify.
No. For me, the biggest one was boxing his whole defense in the opening.
That's the biggest
one for me.
Right away, you started off wrong. You started off on the offense. You don't start off on the offense. You are a defense attorney. Let it come to you and defend. Don't get in front of shit.
Yep. Right. You don't have the burden. They made it like they were trying to find the killer. I'm like, what is this? So you don't have the burden.
So, and when this witness comes in, even though she does the I don't remember, she says, I didn't shoot him. She knows that much.
You remember that part.
She remembers that much. She knows that much. She's not doing I don't remember if I shot her or not, or if I shot the gun or not. She's not doing that at all, which is wholly inconsistent with what you have already told these jurors. And now you banging her about the statements that she made, trying to suggest. Hold on.
So Pamela, when I heard the first request from the jurors, I knew they were honing in on the assault charge. I knew that they wanted to listen to Sean Kelly. I don't think that they made light of. It's clear they didn't make light of his testimony. Now, we can't poll the jurors. Did they poll the jurors?
They I don't know if Tory's team or the prosecutors polled the jury. They had a jury leave out. We couldn't leave until then, but they read the instructions that they don't have to talk. They got 60 days or 90 days before they talk, or some type of instruction they must have here for the jurors to speak. So no, they just polled, obviously each one to make sure that it was a guilty, but they didn't. I don't know if they went in the back as we do as attorneys and polled them to see why they made the decision that they made. As it pertains to you asking about Sean Kelly, I honestly don't believe that the defense knew the entirety of Sean Kelly's testimony, and that's why Yeah, and you boxed it in opening. I mean,
big mistake. If
yeah.
if the rule is you don't ask the question you don't know the
You know
answer
the
to,
answer to.
you damn sure don't put a witness on. You don't know what the fuck is the entirety of his testimony.
Mhm.
The entirety of it.
And that's an issue I have. I'm saying this lawyer,
Up Instagram.
this lawyer had to know.
Dennis and the lawyer that just came out from the courtroom, which is
Ike,
why
Ike, you're live here, Ike.
I'm live on my IG because I can't let my people not have this information too. So I gotta do
people over here, ladies and gentlemen,
my
ladies
people
and gentlemen.
deserve to hear this information live and get there.
Ike, I need you here, Ike. You got people watching all over the world, Ike. We need you to look at us.
Yes. Let me get back.
She like, I'm gonna get my IG.
Okay,
too.
Pam,
I gotta get my people on.
Pam, I have a question for you. How did the jurors look as the verdict was being read? Because obviously they're the ones that rendered the decision.
They looked like they was proud of their decision. They really looked like they was confident in their decision.
Damn.
It didn't look like no hesitancy. They was like, is that your? And then juror number 4 was the 4-person. But
describe that juror because
it was a white guy, maybe 40s. He was in the back row.
I know who it is.
Okay, he was the 4-person, but they were very confident. They were like, "Is that your verdict? Yes. Is that your yes?" So.
Oh my God.
Right, like don't get it twisted.
When they came back asking about,
came here with your son.
When they came back, asking about the willful. That's when I got a little iffy because I figured the willful was going to be the hardest one. It is a general intent. It's not a specific intent crime, but I thought that was to be a little bit more where there was reasonable doubt. Now, the negligence, I thought that was negligence all day. And of course, a gun is involved, so you was going to get the gun. So I was thinking count 2 and count 3 in my head. I really wasn't thinking about count 1 until they started asking about willful. As willful and probable, and the definition is so sucky. The judge basically said, look at the jury instruction. That's all we can give you is that it's the definition that's in the dictionary. Basically, use it as how probable.
Plain language.
I have a request. Ladies and gentlemen of the jurors, please reach out to me. I want to talk to all the jurors, but specifically the black jurors, because I saw you guys watching me and I saw your reaction. And the older lady, please reach out to me because I saw your reaction during the line of questioning with Kelsey Harris. So please reach out to me. You could come here, Hip Hop and Cry, Mr. Dennis Byron. Jurors, here's my phone number, 404. I'll leave it in the rest. I didn't put it in the keys. All you guys have my number. Just reach out to me.
Let me say something real quick.
Go ahead, Ike.
I'm never happy to see a black man go into the institution.
Say that loud.
Never happy about that. Never celebrating that. We're not celebrating that.
At all.
Right? That's not what's happening at all. I want that to be clear. Right? But at the same time, this woman deserves to be vindicated, to have someone be accountable for what happened to her and the trauma that she into that story. What I also want to say is that there had been so much misinformation that I got so much backlash from people and so much hateful comments simply because I was trying to explain the real shit that was happening, not that fuck shit that some employment lawyer that was explaining all kinds of shit that had y'all really, really thinking that this wasn't gonna go this way.
Ike,
people don't know what reasonable doubt is. I was having arguments with it. It's inconsistent testimony, so that's reasonable doubt. I'm like, dude, the defendant and the person accusing them always got inconsistencies. One's gonna say they didn't do it, and that's one's gonna say that they did. That's not a reason to dismiss.
And ladies and gentlemen, in Instagram and in YouTube, I listened to the evidence. I've covered tons of trials, and I knew this man was going to get convicted because it was some compelling testimony, despite what you got. A lot of you guys didn't sit in the courtroom. I sat in the courtroom. I looked at testimony. I listened to things. It was more closer to a guilt than a not guilt.
Sean Kelly put the nail in the coffin.
Yes, he did.
He basically put the gun in his hand.
Yes,
so
he did.
I knew he was going to get a gun charge if he wasn't going to get anything else.
Both are counselors. What is the lesson you want to say to young lawyers thinking about getting into the profession as criminal defense attorneys? Especially you, Ike.
Ike's
the professor.
The case is not about you. It's not about your ego. It's not about any of those things, right? So make sure that you stay with the fundamentals of defense work, right? Let the case come to you. Remember that you are defense in every way. You don't need to get in front of the case unless you have some sort of justification. If you have a justification defense, that is the only time you are playing offense. And he didn't have one. He didn't have one at all. You opened burden shifting from the gate. You opened. Your opening statement was a promise to the defense to the jury that you couldn't carry.
Deliver. Yep.
You couldn't carry. And then when you tried to carry it, you badgered that witness so much that you opened the door to a statement that otherwise would not have been in evidence that the jury requested during deliberations. They asked for the fucking transcript of the September interview. So for everybody who thinks that was not relevant because she got on that stand and said, "Oh, I lied in that statement," guess what? The jury did not believe her when she said, "I lied then." They believed that she was telling the truth then, when her husband was present then. So even all of that shit about her husband being part of this, the corporation that's suing and the record label bullshit, that was August that shit popped off.
Whoa!
This meeting was in September. Pam, what you doing?
Pam, you all right? Wait, hold on. Listen.
Your husband driving?
Yeah, put the phone on your
My
husband.
voice is annoying him.
Listen, we got people around the world. Husband, you drive carefully. You got precious commodity in your car. Sir, you have precious commodity in your car. Slow down, sir.
Don't do that, Dennis.
All right, let me keep it clean for Pam husband.
Okay.
Let me keep it clean.
Okay?
Sorry, I dropped the F-bomb.
Husband, we gotta talk to you later, husband. Husband, first of all, I want to thank your husband for allowing you to be in the courtroom covering this trial, because I know you made a sacrifice. And husband, I know she was probably up late night just thinking about the case, as attorneys does when it comes this close down the wire. I appreciate you, sir. And is the kids in the back too?
Well, I appreciate you acknowledging that. I just want to add one thing. She was up late night and she was up early morning.
Oh, well.
So we didn't have family time. We had court time. But I'm used to it. It's okay. I support my wife in everything that she do.
Absolutely, brother. I appreciate you. And that's the part that people do not get a chance to see, the sacrifices that we make as professionals when we have to cover these cases. We have to leave our families if we have to travel across the country. And sure enough, Pam came from Detroit.
Yes.
Detroit. I came from Atlanta. You didn't come, but you in New York. You came with that.
I might need you for something. I think I got a case in New York. I might need your help.
Okay, listen. That's what this is about, networking, ladies and gentlemen. There you have it. We had a verdict. Tory Lanez, Daystar Peterson has been found guilty on all counts. There was pandemonium in the courtroom. The family is upset, but listen, he has a right to appeal. He has 30 days to appeal his case.
He's 30 days to put in a notice of appeal.
Put in a notice, yeah. It's gonna take a minute to get the transcript.
It's gonna take a while. He's gonna sit up. He's gonna sit up.
But see, and then that's one of the things that I was also talking about, the defense attorney. These people don't understand, just like how Sean Kelly motioned the gun and all of that, they wasn't saying let the record reflect anything. I'm like, you need to preserve these records for appeal. They don't see you.
Right.
I was noticing that too. That was like bothering me. They're not saying let the record reflect he's moving his hand to the left. Let the record reflect that he's motioning that Meg went the other way. They weren't even doing that. They were just letting it go. And I'm like, you got to preserve the record for appeal.
But that suggests inexperience, Pam. That suggests inexperience. That's someone who doesn't know, doesn't have the awareness to know that you have to protect the record. That's your fucking job as a trial lawyer.
I didn't hear that one time.
You gotta protect the record. Wow. Where do they get these lawyers from? I don't know this guy. I don't want to disparage him. I can only talk about this one case that I saw. And so we left off on the fact that he opened the door to this statement from September, which is one of the things that the jury requested in their jury note. They wanted a transcript of that. That's a problem. The other thing that he opened the door to was he introduced some of the lyrics to Kelsey's song, right? He was trying to suggest to the jury,
back.
again, trying to suggest to the jury that something that she said that she shot Meg, opening the door for the rest of the song where she said she didn't shoot Meg.
Didn't, yes.
Right.
And was
So-
trying to use it to say she called Meg a liar. Yeah, she called Meg a liar because Meg told the DA that Kelsey took a bribe. She didn't call her a liar just in general. She's saying
Right.
she didn't take a bribe from Tory. It was like, now we get the whole context. Why you just gonna pull one line out and think that the prosecution just gonna let that happen?
So
And
what
let
do
me
you
say-
think that does? Hold on. What do you think that does to the relationship now that the defense attorney has with the jury? Because I'm very protective of that. You got to understand that this jury has to trust you. If they don't
Yeah,
trust
it was
you,
misleading.
they don't fucking buy what
misleading.
you telling.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something. I watched the elder juror, the black juror, when Kelsey was on the stand saying I couldn't remember. She kept on looking at me like please. Now let me
Right.
say something else. With people and all over the world, what they didn't hear, what I heard, the gunshots, pow, 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 pow. It was no way possible you can get around that gun transferred into someone else's hand.
To another person's hand, yeah.
And that's what the jurors listened to, and that's what the opening was for the prosecution. They played the gunshots, the whole dance, bitch. We don't know if that really happened, but
Right.
we do know those gunshots happened. We
Right.
know that, and we know that those, based on listening to the audio, that was a succession of shots fired by one person with a semi-automatic 9mm. No
See,
way.
now, but you had that other lawyer on, and he contested you. And he's the one who, like, if you go to his Twitter page, you've got people on there saying, based on your coverage, I'm expecting a not guilty verdict. And that's why people are up in arms.
You guys
Because
were
he's the one who said there was a pause. That pause suggests that the gun changed hands.
that was.
You have no knowledge of how to
that was
operate a
true.
firearm whatsoever. He's like, that doesn't matter. That
Listen,
does fucking
And
matter.
I'll be honest. When he said that to me, I'm like, dude, we sat in the same courtroom. What were you hearing? And then he never fired a gun before. So
Never fired a gun.
someone who goes on the gun range knows how a 9mm feels. 800 pounds of pressure, or 8 pounds, not 800, because it'd be like this. 8 pounds of pressure is not easy to transfer. Pow, 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 pow. That's what the shots were. Were. So we won't have opportunity because he's going to appeal the case. We're not going to have opportunity to get none of the evidence because there's going to be an appeal.
I don't know what the appealable issues are.
Absolutely.
And
Well,
let me tell you something about the appellate court. If you don't preserve an issue, it's not appealable. And the
To
way
me, Ike, their objections were just objections to throw you off. You know how some people just object to try to throw you off. It was asking and answered. And then there was times I felt like they should have objected and they didn't. I'm like, y'all worried about asking and answered? Like, who cares? Like, why don't you move? Like, this is important.
wow.
So no, I don't think the record was preserved very well. Personally, the way it was times I almost jumped up and objected. Like, oh, this ain't your case, girl.
this is so troubling. It's so troubling.
Listen, guys, I want to say this. I always refer to the experts in their area of specialty. I can't get caught up in the entertainment value that some view this case as, which wasn't an entertainment case.
This is somebody's whole life.
This was somebody's life, and the kids in there screaming and crying.
The reality is, which is why all of the joking and all of the misinformation and the intellectual dishonesty from professionals, it was at an all-time high.
And you guys, that's why you can't be, listen. And you guys were saying, listen, I'm not on no one's payroll. The evidence speaks for itself. I was there. And when you're saying that I'm on no one's payroll,
right?
I bring in intelligent people to look at the evidence. Because there were many times, and I'm steadfast in that, and you guys were attacking the professionals that do this.
Right.
This is why the clip stays up, and I have 10 more clips coming, as promised. And it's promised. I have 10 more clips. I said I will take that video down if there's a not guilty, but if there's a guilty, I'm putting 10 more clips up.
So I sent you a text, Dennis, before the verdict came, after I saw that note, right? What did the text I sent Dennis?
I didn't even look at it yet because
shit, you gonna look at it, you gonna bug out. I sent him a text and I said, yo, they might find him guilty on all of this shit after
Yeah,
that.
you know what?
After
Only reason
that
why I thought that
I was like,
when they asked
oh,
about the willful. When they asked about the
yes.
willful, I said, ooh,
I was like,
shucks.
oh, fuck. It's a Rizazap.
So
It's a Rizap. Oh, they also asked for the ballistic testimony.
The expert, yep.
Yeah, the expert testimony about double action. So
The
maybe they were
firearms on the
wrestling
double
with whether or
action,
not it
like
was
what
an
you guys
okay.
were talking about. Yep.
This is what I'm talking about, ladies. Now, talk about that, please. The double action.
Maybe they were wrestling with whether or not it was an accidental discharge.
I think, but you know what though? This is what I was on. If you're gonna switch almost your whole defense into you were trying to defend Meg, why didn't you even try defense of others? Why didn't you try? I didn't understand.
What? Go, Matt. Go, Pam. Talk about that. Talk about what other defenses were available.
How do you say I'm trying to defend somebody? You turn into I'm trying to defend somebody. That is, on all three charges, that is a viable defense. Now, I know in our state, you have to let the prosecutor know that you're bringing it, or let the DA know that you're bringing it. But if that's what, I think he just jacked up by boxing it in the way he did in the beginning. But you could have did defensive
from the very beginning. I said when I heard the opening, I said, dude, this is an incredible opening. So this is why it has been. I don't know. Where's Sean Hawley? Sean, we want to talk to Sean Hawley. You were the lead counsel. We want to know what Sean thinks about this.
What happened to her? Where you?
Yeah, she was his attorney.
Why you ain't pull up?
Because he needed you, Sean. He needed you.
Well, I don't know if this is a fact, but I'm guessing that she probably wanted to negotiate a plea after she knew what everything was in its totality. And I think that
which would have been smart.
It would
have
been
been smart. Once they added that gross negligence charge,
yeah,
I would have been like, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Let's have a conversation.
We don't even know if they ever offer him anything, but it would have been time to go to the table for sure.
Yeah, give me a number. Let me at least consider something. You got to put something on the table. That way my client can really consider whether or not going to trial is worth it.
Because he's facing big boy numbers.
He
now, I don't know
is.
what
He
his, I don't know what his,
numbers.
what his guidelines are.
We call those football numbers.
Yeah.
You dig? Football numbers. It's not a fucking game. Shit.
It's unfortunate, though.
I want to say this. Ladies, I'm going to say this. Now, I can't even say that, I felt like everyone was drinking. That's a major factor. But
yes, but voluntary intoxication, did they give that charge, Pam?
They sure did. They said
voluntary intoxication is not a defense for assault.
It's not a defense for assault. That was one of the jury instructions.
Oh, see, I didn't know that. I didn't know that part. So that right there would negate.
I saw that in the charges last night. Remember we were looking at the charges? Because before that, we hadn't had the charges. And I was thinking maybe they'll think he's drunk and give him a pass. But when you get in,
but you gotta craft your case like that, though.
Even if you wanted to give him a pass, right?
So that's his case wasn't crafted that way, though. His case wasn't crafted that way.
It wasn't even exactly. That wasn't even a fact.
Let's talk about the sentencing, and I want to talk about the sentencing and what the defense was, and how they really muddied this case by virtue of pointing the finger at Kelsey. And will Kelsey get brought up on perjury charges?
No.
I don't think so.
I doubt it. They seldom do that. Seldom bring somebody up on perjury.
They got to win already. And
you got to think about it, right? Did she perjure herself? Let's really process that, because perjury is when you tell a lie about a material fact. She said she didn't remember.
Okay.
That's
and
not
then
like
she would premise that I lied. I said many lies in the.
I lied then. She wasn't under oath then. In
yeah,
September.
She said she lied in the interview, but
right.
she was telling
she lied.
That
then.
was just a recorded interview. That's not under oath.
She was under oath. I'm guessing she wasn't.
Wow.
So.
Wow. Well, ladies, I thank you for your immense support for the platform. Please follow Aikisha El Shabazz or Ike Speaks on our socials. And Pam is pam.esq. Make sure you follow these ladies. They're very smart, very meticulous in the way they do their work. And also follow that reporter who's been telling you guys. That's me. Make sure you continue following me. Make sure you like, subscribe, and support the platform.
I'm stay on talk to my people for a second.
Right. Ike, I appreciate
All
you.
right.
And tell her
All
how
right,
many
ma'am.
kids. Thank you.
All
I
right.
appreciate
I'll talk to you later.
Happy holidays.
Thanks,
everyone.
ma'am.
Everyone.
Thank you. Talk to you soon.
And tell them I said, just calm down on the road. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Wow. Just wow. Wow. I have not got on my Twitter, but my Twitter's probably on fire right now. It's probably on fire. One of the things that, like I said, I focused in on the shots. That is something that you will remember. The shots really told me that it was one shooter. The second thing I honed in on was Kelsey's September interview and how she cried in that interview, how she spoke about her mother, how she spoke about how she sent the text out. And something else we got to remember. Right after the shooting, she sends a text message to Megan's bodyguard saying, "Help, Tory shot Megan, 911." That happened within minutes after the shots were fired. That's not something that you just plan in your head to send a text out in the moment. It doesn't happen like that. That happens because of reaction to a reaction to an action. That's when stuff like that happens. And I don't know, guys. I don't know at this point. And also, I want to say this. For all you people that were literally just doing the most on, like certain YouTubers, certain people that were reporting on this case, you guys were being dishonest to the public. Though especially ones who were experienced. You were being very dishonest. And this is why my position had changed, because I saw the evidence. I was in the courtroom. And one thing I noticed was when Megan was on the stand and she said, when the prosecutor asked, "Who shot you?" she looked at him and said it. You could look at her body language. One thing as an interviewer, I look at body language, expression, and then listen to Kelsey. It was there. As much as you guys hate it, it was there. So you had a lawyer that had 20 years in criminal law. She's won murder cases. I'm going to trust a lawyer who's won murder cases, especially a New York lawyer, which is one of the hardest cities to fight cases. And I'm going to trust my experience in covering trials. And I'm going to trust Pam because she's a criminal defense attorney as well. At the end of the day, we have to be intellectually honest about what the facts are versus what rumors and gossip is. And that's what the jurors looked at. That's what the jurors looked at. And the last thing, you should want to make sure, if it's a family member, that they're getting the right justice, the right representation, the right story being told. Don't go bashing Megan because of the evidence that was obvious. Stay focused. What happened? There were things that happened in that courtroom that was more relevant than the things that was going on outside with, and the whole fandom. You guys are fans of both sides. I get that. But at the end of the day, this is what happened based on the evidence. And those 12 people in that box were smart enough to see certain things. They weren't confused. I'm looking at them. They weren't confused about you can't have a witness come in and say she can't remember, but then she had strong recollection 2 months earlier. You can't bring in a neighbor who he doesn't know no one in this whole situation that says he saw Tory with the gun. He saw a flash coming from direction where the girls were, but you got to remember they weren't too far apart. Kelsey testified that she got out the back seat of the passenger side and Megan got out the front seat. She said she don't know how Tory got to the front, but he slid from the back seat behind the driver and got to the front seat, stood on the stand and started firing. This was the testimony. Plus, again, the shots are still ringing in my head. And this is what it is. And I'm sorry. But this, when you're doing reporting on these stories, you have to be honest about the evidence. You have to come to the court to see the case. These cases should be profiled in the media with cameras in courtrooms, so more people can buy into what the evidence is versus what the emotions are in these cases. And that's all it is. That's all it is. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate all of you. I really do. Make sure you like, subscribe, and make sure that you don't go bashing the victim. Make sure you don't do that. Make sure you don't do that. If you never sat on a jury before or did jury duty or spent time in the courtroom or understand the law, the processes that are in place, don't make overtures that you guys can't back up. And that's just what it is. That's just what it is. I have tons of messages coming in, and I just got to attend to that. I appreciate everyone. I'm going to end the YouTube. I appreciate everyone in YouTube land. Please make sure you, just do what you do. I'm going to end this one right here. I'm going to take this out. I'm sorry, it's a little blurry because the camera's not sharp, but you'll heard everything. You're sort of people. You'll see what it is. We're going to take this one out here. I appreciate you. I really do.